How's everybody doing? You know, it's nice working in here because I don't have to worry about stinging ants and the cats jumping up and down on my lap. If it was Sandy, it would be a lot easier because she just kind of sits down and sleeps, but Sammy, I think, is kind of heavy. Move the microphone over now. Okay, let me put you on. Actually, I'll just leave it where it's at. What do you think? It's down here. I could bring it up, but it's upside down. It's the way it is when I do the religious videos because I don't talk too loud. Of course, Bam Bam's down by my feet because he heard the... Who is that up on the cat tree? I'll have to check. I think that's Neo. Goo Goo is right here on the chair. Bam Bam is right here by my feet. Annie was in the window, and that must be Neo up there. And Bongo, she likes to kind of squirrel away in some little cubby somewhere. She likes to hide. So I was going to go out. I was mentioning picture from Angel. Gosh, it's such a beautiful picture, Angel. Let me move my big fat head out of the way. Put my head up here out of the way. Wow, that's pretty. And look at those pretty signs with the colors and all that. Now, there's something about the nighttime. Working the night shift. It's always sort of spectacular boldness to it because everything slows down. Traffic ebbs away and the lights of the signs come on, and then as it gets later into the night the lights go out, and then you're usually there for the sunrise in the morning. Yeah, I've been there a lot of times when I saw the sunset and the sunrise, working 12 hours. Somebody we know will end up working 12 hours. But Angel, it's a beautiful picture. Send us more. Jenny, you get some nice ones from up at the hospital. You know, if you see a good sunrise, I don't care if there's buildings as long as you're up high. I love the pictures. So thanks again, Angel. And the videos, if I do a 20-minute video on OBS, which is this, it's only about 800 megabytes in size. If I do a 20-minute video outside with the GoPro, it's like 10 gigabytes, 10 times bigger. So I'm going to try doing the outside ones at 30 frames per second instead of 16, see if that lowers the size of the file. Because these, what I'm going to do today, doesn't take long to upload, but the ones that end up 10 gigabytes takes forever. I'm going to put you on pause and go get a can of soda. I'm all out. Good old Sam's, Diet Sam's Cola. It's the same thing as Diet Right. They just put their name on it. Okay, I'll be right back. Don't touch the mouse or your keyboard. Okay, I'm back. Move the microphone in. Microphone's back in. Cheers. Cheers to you. Jim Howard was doing it a few months back. He started choking, and he went ahead and uploaded it because he doesn't drink water, he just drinks Coke. You tell me at 82 years old if that's good for you. Man's got to be having liver failure, kidney failure, and bladder failure from just drinking Coke. I try to alternate between a Coke and a bottle of water. But I started pouring some lemon juice in it, in my bottles of water, to just give it a little flavor. And that lemon juice tends to strip the you know, the congestion in your throat. So what a nice picture that is. I'm gonna guess that that's sunset. Just guessing. It's toward the west. Red in the morning, sailor take warning. Red at night, sailor's delight. Means fair weather ahead when you see it in the west. If you see an orange, bright orange sunrise, it means bad weather. It's not me, it's the Farm Almanac. So let's talk about anything, right? Let's talk about the military again. Did that one yesterday. But I was looking up some pictures that I could show you of the military, and I found some. Excuse me, I had to burp. So beautiful picture. Send more, send more. It's October 12th. I just can't believe it's October already. I'm in the star field. Let's go to this. If you ever wonder if your kids show any interest, or grandkids or whatever, in fire or police or some sort of public servant, that's my grandfather inspecting the guns. This would have been about in the 1920s, after World War I. He was like a county commissioner or city commissioner, and he was the commissioner in charge of public safety. So that's why he was a volunteer fireman and a police officer, and like the police chief at the same time. But yeah, interesting picture. Look where they're pointing all the guns, right at him. And then that one guy at the end, you know, is looking at the camera. A couple of them look like a couple of them actually got their finger on the trigger. Yet the ones with the boots are motor officers. The ones with the boots are motorcycle officers. And that little metal thing hanging down their shirt, that's a whistle chain. I think I still have one of those. So that's my grandfather right there. City commissioner. So yeah, that must be where my interest came from, because when I was little, probably about 12 or 13, I got a Muscat 6-band radio so I could tune into the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office or Police Department, and I loved listening to police calls. And my step-grandfather, who was no relation to me, was a volunteer with the Red Cross. He was the one who was the Shriner and the 32nd degree Mason. He had one of those radios at his house, and that piqued my interest too. But he would sometimes go to the calls when he would hear something close to his house. But yeah, it made me familiar with my house in relation to the neighborhood and all that. When I get a chance to talk in chronological order about the military, I'm going to finish up with infantry school at Fort Benning, and then just down the street is the airborne school on like a different section of the post. And just about every morning you can see the airborne guys out there running. And we always ran in our combat boots, which was kind of painful. But in airborne school, you do a lot of running, a lot of push-ups, a lot of sit-ups. They tried to make themselves into like a super elite force as much as you can in 3 weeks, because that's how long the class is. When you graduate, you get the airborne wings, and if you make a jump every 3 months, you get an extra $100 a month pay. So I'm going to go through these pictures and jump out of chronological order. That's my grandfather. If you know anybody that wants to be a policeman, that's why. Let's see. Let's do... This is kind of out of order. But this was in the Mojave Desert, 29 Palms, California. And it was cold in North Carolina, so we always tried to go someplace where it was warm, where the weather was delightful when it was cold. And we must have brought with us 60 or 80 pounds of C4. That white stuff you're looking at is C4 explosive, or plastic explosives, and it comes with a sticky side to it. You know, you peel it off and you can just slap it on something, but then you have to dig a hole in it to stick a blasting cap in it. So all those cords, that's det cord, because det cord explodes at close to the speed of sound or whatever. It looks instantaneous. That's not fuse cord. So the det cord explodes just like a bomb, and it's almost instantaneous. So all of that would explode at the same time. Let's see. Let's go to the next one. There we go, in the desert. It would freeze at night and be hot during the day. Go down to 30 degrees at night and up to about 100 degrees during the day. Let's see. We are setting up the C4. We wanted to get rid of it because we didn't want to have to carry any of it back. And that was a K-bar on my side, a subdued Marine Corps K-bar knife from, I think it was Gerber. Super sharp knife. I ended up losing that on an airborne jump. It's tied to the outside of my rucksack. The whole thing just broke off or came off or something. So yeah, when you're handling blasting caps, these were electric blasting caps. You have to be careful because the slightest static electricity could cause them to ignite. Look, he's got his knife sticking in the dirt over there. Yeah, we were just taping it all to whatever we could to get rid of it, to explode it. There's a block just sitting there, look. So there wasn't much left when we were done. I think I got a picture of that somewhere. Here's my 73 Club Cab Dodge truck. Somebody ran into the back of me on the way to the team house one morning and just dented my bumper and broke that little tiny corner piece off the back of my truck. The insurance company gave me $300 for the damage, a check, and I didn't need to get it fixed because it was a work truck, right? And so I bought this topper. It was really nice. It was made out of vinyl, which was a mistake, because vinyl evidently in its early stages, over time, the stuff dry rotted and cracked. And some hail hit the top of it once and cracked it open. Yeah, back then the truck had to be inspected in North Carolina. But yeah, I had mud tires on the back and street tires on the front. And I used to take that truck everywhere. I used to drive it through creeks where the water would literally be as high as the hood. Because it had such a long wheelbase, you know, the front end would be coming out of the creek when the rear end was just going down into it. Let's see. Now this is in the Pisgah National Forest in North Carolina during Special Forces radio operator training. Now you had to spend 10 days up in the mountains and doing crypto work, what do you call it, using crypto to make your messages secure. And then there's only 2 pages to each page of crypto, and you've got one, and the people that you're sending the message to have the other page. And then when you're done, you have to burn the page or eat it and swallow it. But yeah, that's me typing away doing Morse code. And the reason we had to wear those orange beanies is because it was hunting season. This was like November or December. It's right after hunting season opened in North Carolina, and there was a good chance we were going to get shot because we were wearing Army clothes. It's hard to see. So yeah, they didn't care if you got wet, but you had to build these huts out of ponchos, which is what that is, to keep the equipment dry. Because without their radio, you're not going to get extracted, you're not going to get food drops and all that. The first day we were there in the mountains, the sergeant that was with us got us lost, and we missed our first contact, which was a food resupply. So we went for like 2 days without food, and we had to scrounge up some food in the wild. So after that, we learned that you got to make sure you make each contact, because there's a message that means something that they send you. And we did. It was Morse code. Did it, did it. Let's see. There's another one. Ernie, I think, was taking these pictures. And these were the type of radios where I could talk most of the way around the world. And they didn't take crystals like the older set. This was the newer radio. Looks like I got 2 of them there. And I used to really like, an hour before the contact, I would make sure that the antenna was tuned, that everything was set up to work, the batteries were full, and I would start tuning in stations from South America, like country western stations, where they would play American music, but the DJ was in Spanish. So I enjoyed listening to that. Tanya Tucker was one I specifically remember a song from her. She was like 17 or 18, like Taylor Swift, when she started singing. But gotta make the most of it, right? Let's see. This was Special Operations Training, Montlake, North Carolina, which was the forerunner of the Delta team. And the thing is that we were engaging targets. These targets would pop up, the ones in the windows, as you were going up the stairs. So it was a training exercise to get you to watch where you're going, but be able to engage targets that might show themselves in the window before you get to the door. And then it gave snipers the chance to shoot from long ranges in close proximity to living people. So that target that's up at the top and the targets in the windows, this is what they used to zero their guns, the snipers. And then when the targets would pop up, the snipers were 600 meters away, which was about a third of a mile, with the M21 sniper system. And when the targets would pop, we would engage them, and the snipers would shoot at the same time. So we would hear the bullets whiz by our heads, and the snipers would understand that, yeah, it's really important to make sure you shoot where you're supposed to shoot. But those were M1911s, 45 caliber pistols. And it almost looks like we're shooting at the same time. It looks like I was a little quicker than him. That guy's name was Vargas. I can't remember his first name. Very nice guy. He was one of these Hispanic guys that was like a ladies' man. He had a black mustache, and black hair. I think he was 17 at the time when I first met him. He's one of the youngest people ever to be awarded a Green Beret. And it tells you something about how smart he was and how physically fit he was. So Special Operations Training. Got some other pictures of that. This is 80 millimeter mortars in the desert. It's the weapons sergeant I was tasked with providing training for our team in weapons, tactics, and things like that. So this just happened to be the 80 millimeter mortar, which I think we're good out to like 5,000 meters, which is close to 3 miles. 1,500 meters is what's called the metric mile. So 3,000 meters is 2 miles. Let's see. There's the guy. That's me. So it's the same flash that Uncle Johnny ended up with but didn't begin with. And it's supposed to signify the Vietnam flag that's on there. So somewhere around here I've got those berets, or at least 2 of them. And I think one of them's pretty well worn. You guys still there? Am I recording or am I talking to myself? This was up in the mountains. Pisgah National Forest radio operator training, because we had to carry all our batteries and the radio equipment. And our rucksacks were like 110, 120 pounds. They were heavy. And we were humping up and down the mountains. I mean, really steep mountains there. And, you know, we always had to have a water source, but it rained for 2 days straight, and it was going down into like the 20s, between 20 and 30 degrees. So in this picture, Shirley will remember it. You know, I wasn't very happy, let me put it that way. Ernie took this picture. I was miserable. And I probably had to get up like at 2 in the morning to do a radio contact, which is one of the other pictures. Or something like it. Let's see. And there I am in the barracks. Where did that go? Where'd it go? I think that's all of them. I think. Is that all I had? I think that's all I had. Yeah, I must have put 2 million miles on that truck. 318 engine in it, and it turned out it had a bad head gasket and some bad valves. And after I got married, Shirley helped me in front of our apartment. We tore the engine down, tore the front end, the top end off of it, had the heads rebuilt, put it all back together in front of our apartment. So let's see, that's about it. It's in the barracks. Army barracks. So, boom, boom, boom. These will be in all the pictures. And more. There's more pictures in the... More pictures than that. Let me see how long I've been on here. How long? 23 minutes. That's long enough. What do you think? And of course, we'd end up on the screen wallpaper changed to one of my favorite ones, which is the Starfield, the blue, the cobalt, and all that in it. There is another one that's like that too. So let's go back to, there's Starfield. And we'll go back to Angel's picture. Angel, nice picture. I already said that, but I'm going to keep saying it. Keep sending more and more and more. You know, once Jenny starts working, she's up at the hospital for 12 hours a day. As a nurse, she'll probably be able to take pictures too. And I think Stephanie's out after the sun rises and before it sets, so that's about all that's going on here. Maybe tomorrow. Oh, let me show you the radar. 'Cause this is why I am inside. Let's see. It was raining like all get out a little while ago. All right, come on. Why isn't it updating? It's because the web page needs updating, right? There we go. I think this is elements of that tropical system. So now the rain's going to make the grass grow, darn it. And Monday coming up will be 2 weeks, which means it's due. Darn. Darn. Ooh, there's like a little spinny thing here. It looked like a tornado. Did you guys see that? Water spout. Water spout. What's going on U-boob? On the U-boob. 16-foot python is so gentle with her favorite girl, the dodo soulmates. You guys ever watch the dodo? Why would you let a snake like that around your little kid? I think they should charge her with child abuse. I cut off my own wedding ring with a Dremel. Yeah, it looks like his finger's dead in that picture. So what's going on here, and I'll leave it with this, is I'm getting inundated by people trying to sell me Medicare plans. After the 15th, I have to sign up for a Medicare plan. And they try to push this Medicare Advantage plan, which is free. You just pay your Medicare Part B premium, which is $164 a month. The government takes that. You really don't have a choice. If you sign up, the government takes $164 a month. So you still have to pay for Medicare. It's not free. It's not free health care. And that's an 80-20 system, Medicare. If you don't have any other insurance, the government pays 80. The prices are all set. So if a doctor says he accepts Medicare, he agrees to take that amount for whatever the procedure is. And you would have to pay the other 20%. Well, an Advantage plan covers everything else pretty much. And they offer like a gym membership, dental, vision. Sometimes they even give you money back. And the reason they want you to take that plan is because the federal government pushes all of your health care into that private plan, and they no longer have anything to do with Medicare. So they give that company, when you sign up for an Advantage plan, $1,000 a month for your health care. The government does. So that's why the insurance company wants you to sign up for that. If you ever watch the TV commercials for, and we'll put money back into your Social Security check every month. Sounds like a good deal. And a lot of people fall for it. But what you find out that happens is you're going to be in an HMO or a PPO, which means you have to see the doctor that they want you to see. Your doctor has to be in the plan. And then you can't see a specialist without a referral. And you can't have surgery if the insurance company says they don't think you need it. So basically, the insurance company is in charge of your health care, period. I got a letter from the Mayo Clinic that said they're not accepting Advantage plans, period. So if I ever had to have some sort of special cancer treatment and go to the Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville or whatever, I couldn't. There's no way I could go. So it's not about what's best for you, it's about what's best for the company. And to try to lure you in, they give you all this free stuff and zero premium. So I'm looking at some of the other supplement plans instead of an Advantage plan, which pays the other 20%. It's still going to get Medicare, but it takes care of the other 20%. And they don't give you any vision or dental or anything like that, and you actually have to pay for it. It's like $185 a month, which isn't bad. I'm paying $600 now. So that's what's going on. All these people are trying to get me to sign up for an Advantage plan, because the insurance agents actually get a big commission too when they sell those plans. They don't get anything hardly when they sell a G plan, which is the one that's best for you. The one that's best for the company is the Advantage plan. Have money put back into your Social Security check every month. Call now. It's Joe Namath and some other people that do those commercials, but they're going to start up here pretty soon. So that's what's going on here. Signing up for a supplement instead of an Advantage plan. With the supplement plan, you can go to any doctor you want. If they accept Medicare, you can go to anybody, as long as they accept Medicare. And then whatever the bill is left over, the plan picks it up, and there's zero deductible, zero out of pocket. It's a done deal. So the Advantage plan had like a $1,900 out of pocket maximum, so it wasn't entirely free. Well, that's what's going on. I'm already at 30 minutes. I'm going to let you go. Everybody, please take care of your animals and each other. And I'm going to pray that God watches over you. And every morning when I say the rosary, I'm thinking of you guys, all three. So may God bless you and keep you, and may He watch over you. And say a prayer for me if you get a chance. That this, what do you call it? They call it when you're anemic. That somehow my anemia leaves me, so I can get some more energy again. Well, God bless everybody. Remember that I love you, that God loves you. Together, we always and forever will, in time and eternity. Bye, you guys. I'm just going to upload this like it is.